Hi guys, I was in the process of making this bracelet in silver. And then I found out a couple of things. First of all, the 5 seed beads I used here for my roll on roll off, which rolls on really easy and looks awesome, that the 5 seed beads didn't fit around here. And this is also 4mm cup chain, and when I try to roll that on, it really doesn't roll that good, and when it does, and I try to turn that back, it just doesn't look as good. It doesn't look straight. The second problem was I couldn't use 5 seed beads around this, and as you can see, as I roll it off, it looks like it's kind of crooked in every which way, as to where this still looks good. So I brought out my Swarovski, or I brought out my Preciosa. This is the one that I used. And then these 4mm cups turned out to be a little smaller, but they're not 3mm. Not only that, it turns out that this is actually has less room in between. So the mistake that I made was that not only is it smaller, it has less room in there. So what I want to do is I want to recreate this one, and I'll give you the exact materials that I used and a link to where I got this cup chain, which was at Firemountain Gems, and to show you that this is actually 4mm compared to this one. Although it looks smaller, it was bought as 4mm. This is real Swarovski. So this is Preciosa. And you can see that the Swarovski has less room in between the cups. So this is Preciosa. And according to this, it's 4mm. This is my 3mm Preciosa. And that's my 4mm Preciosa. And this is also my 4mm Preciosa. But it's bigger. So I'm thinking that Firemountain Gems does not have, either not have Preciosa, or there is a size in between that I don't know about. Like, if this is 3, that can't be 4.5. It can't be 3.5. So if this is 3, I doubt that that's 3.5. But you can see by the spacing that it's the same amount of spacing. So this is Preciosa. So I'm thinking maybe Firemountain Gems is not selling Preciosa. So I'm going to make sure you have the link to the Firemountain Gems, and I want to redo the bracelet in gold with the gold seed beads, and but I don't have, I want to make sure that I do everything exactly the same as I did this one. I don't have enough gold galvanized Duracoat right now, so I'm going to try and see if I can find a seed bead that's about the same size, and then just kind of use another seed bead on the top of there. So the first thing you need to do is fit. Okay, now I already know that I need 34 cup chains. So let me see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4. This would be the amount that I need to use, enabling me to roll that on there. So I'm just going to put that next to each other and then see if I can get through there. And yes, I can get through there. So that's, you need to fit that. In order to have a 34 cup chain bracelet, you need to cut off 35. So let's do that again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4. Now I need 35 because we need to put that cup chain onto the other side. I'm just gonna make double sure that I got that right. I'm gonna count in Dutch for a second, that's easier. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 30, 34. That's 35. Yes. Okay. We need to pry this cup chain off. Okay, so you can use tweezers or whatever you can. Just kind of get that, peel that open on just one side. These two need to be pried open. And you need to get the stone out of there. But it needs to be opened up enough so that you can also put it back in there. But right now we need to pry it open because there's a little bit of extension cord left in there you need to get out. And there goes the cup. And, oh, the extension chain already went out of there. Now we need to pry this one open and get the stone out of there too. So. And what we need for this one is, you can do this one on all 4 sides and get it out. And just kind of open it up, because you're not going to use this cup anymore. You're just going to use that little extension that's in between there. So when you get this one out, just kind of grab it in the middle and open that up. There you go. And now you got this little extension right here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to very carefully, because that extension won't go in, it won't slide in, so you got to open up, and just open up one side just a little bit, and you can just, with your flat nose pliers later on, push that back in, and just slide that end in there, and just kind of hold it wide over your finger, so you can just kind of carefully push that back in. Push that side back in. Okay. Now, what you need is your needle. And you need a little bit of double-sided adhesive to pick up your stone. So I got double-sided adhesive right here. I bought them in size A4 pieces for my embroidery, but it's been coming in handy. I just pry that open. And you get your needle on there and just kind of roll your needle so that your adhesive is on there. There. Push that down a little bit. Now we're going to pick up the stone and we're going to slide that under the 2 pieces of side that you did not move. So you only pried open the 2, wait, hold on. That's the 2 sides over there. You're just gonna push that in there, like that. And then just kind of get your adhesive off of there and just push that down with your nails. When you know it's in there correctly, just kind of push that down with the nail. And there you have it. It's in there and it looks exactly the same as the others and you can't see the difference, but just make sure that you got that pushed down good. And if you need to, then use your pliers to push down that last part of it So, can't see anything. And to test if that would fit, all you have to do is kind of roll it on. So you can make like 100 bracelets like that, you know, very easy, without anything extra. But this, of course, let me just roll that on. Looks just way more elegant than this. Okay, you can save these if you do embroidery, so I'm going to put that aside. You can actually, if you push that part back together, you can actually use this for embroidery. You can just put that stone back in there. When you see your needle goes through there, so you could tie this on something embroidered and then just put that stone back in there later. Or you could just use this stone for embroidery, you know. So, yeah, you might not want to throw that away. Unless, of course, you completely ruined this cup. But it should be okay once you pushed it back in. And then you just do it the same with the glue. You just put the stone back in there. So let's get started on this part. Got the chain right here, the bracelet. And there's a couple of things that are also important. You will need this fireline. This is 4LB fireline. It's 0.13 millimeters. This comes from a fishing store. It's from Berkleys fireline. It's thinner because the Beadsmith fireline is 0.15 millimeters. This is thinner, and you need this or else you won't be able to go through your 15-0 seed beads as many times as we're going to go through them. The also next important thing is that you use a John James needle because they're nice and thin. This is a size 10 and it will fit through your seed beads. So that's also important. And what else is important? Oh yeah. Also important is that you use a silver-lined seed bead because the silver-lined seed beads are bigger than the actually galvanized seed beads or regular Miyuki seed beads. Here is a Duracoat seed bead. So let me put that next to there. I don't know if you can see that. Let me zoom that in a little bit more. As you can see, there is a definite difference in size between the silver-lined and this is a galvanized Duracoat. So I suggest that you just use this something silver-lined you have. You can use the silver. I got silver-lined here, and I got gold silver-lined here, but they're silver-lined in many colors. So, but I'm also guessing that you probably have the silver-lined in the house, either be it gold or silver. Now I got the gold galvanized Duracoat here, and I'm going to put that in between the gold seed beads. So I want to make sure that the base is the same, even though I might temper with what's going to go on top of there. Okay, so you need any amount of thread you feel comfortable working with, because I'm going to show you how to add another thread later on. Also very important is that you get the wax, because you want to make sure that your thread is as safe as possible. So I'm going to go through there 2 times. And then I'm going to run my fingers through there. These are warm, so that will coat the waxing in there, because that with the heat and the wax, that will warm it up and it will go onto the thread. And I've got a little bit left over when you're done with that, which is good, else it's just going to come down from your thread. So as I said, you can use any amount of thread you like to work with. And we're going to get started with the base. So I'm going to pick up 1, 2, 3 gold seed beads. And I'm going to take everything out of there. I'm going to pull that. That's the 11-0 seed beads. And I'm going to put that on my finger like that. And I'm going to hold my thread tight. And then I'm going to pick up another gold. And I'm going to go back into the first gold, and I'm going to pull that thread tight. And I got to let go, but I'm going to let go at the end. Oops. Put that back on your finger, and we're going to go up the first gold that you just added. Just keep your fingers on there so it won't move. Pick up another gold. I'm going to go through the second gold, and pull there tight, and go back up the second gold. Now pull everything tight. Pick up one more gold, go into the last gold and pull that tight. We're going to go up, and we're going to go down in the first row and back up in the second row. Next we're going to turn that around, and we're going to add our 15-0 gold on the first one. I'm going to go back in there. I'm going to pick up a second one, go into the second 11-0, and we're going to go back into that 15-0. I'm going to pick up another 15-0 into the third one, and we're going to go back up in the 15-0. Now don't do 3 at the same time. I know some of the people do this with 3 at the same time, but you don't want that space that you're going to create in between. So now we're going to pick up the 11-0 again, and we're not going to go back through the 15-0s because you need that space that you still have later on to go through there. So we're going to go through the 15-0 with an 11-0. I'm going to pick up that 11-0. Just put your finger on there to hold everything tight and in place, and pick up another 15-0, going through the second one, and make sure you're in between the seed beads with your thread. Go in there and hold that tight, and let me show you that again. Pick up the last one, and you got to make sure that you're in between there with your thread, because sometimes, you know, when you do the second one, this will happen. You will go around it and you won't notice it, so you might as well make sure that you're in between there and just go through that one. Now turn it around again. Pick up the first 11-0 on 11-0 into the first one that you just added. Pick up the second one, pull that tight, and into the second one, and third one on top of the third one. And when you do the third one, you're going to go back through 3. So you're only going to do that with 11-0s. That's kind of to straighten everything out when you add your next row of 15-0s. So now you're going to do 15-0 again. And you're just going to repeat this until you have 34 times 15-0 on that bracelet, or depending on your amount of cup chains. For me that's of course 34 cup chains, and depending on how many cup chains you used for making this part. Okay, so if you got 40 cup chains, you need 40 sets, and your count starts here. So I got 1, 2, and you're going to end up with 15-0 seed beads on this side. So that would be, your last set would be the 2 11-0s and the 15-0. And if you got, I have 34 cup chains, so I need 34 sets of 15-0 seed beads. So yeah, just keep working until you need a new thread. Pause me now, and then we'll be adding a new thread first, and after that I'll show you how to connect both ends to each other. So now we're going to add the new thread. This is my old thread, and you need to make sure that you got two rows of 11-0s there, and that you go around through them, and then you come out with your old thread. Okay, so we're going to go in the previous row, because we want our end tails to be together, so I'm going in with my new thread right here. And then I'm going to go up. And I'm going to go down again. And up again. And I'm first going to add one set, so that's 3 15/0 and 6 11/0 before I tie my two end tails together. So let me get that done first. So just pause me until you get that done. Okay, I added my new thread and I went around in there in the 11/0. And that's just to ensure that the new thread isn't moving anymore. Okay, so now I'm going to double knot it. But I'm going to knot it to one side of the seed beads. Okay, so you got to make sure that you're above either the left set of the two or the right set, so that that knot can be pulled in there correctly. So I'm just moving it over to my right set, and I'm going to knot it again. So the knot is now above the right set. I'm going to just use a new needle because I'm too lazy to get the other one off. And I'm going to go into the right set of 11/0 and pull my knot in there. Okay? And then I'm going to go down on the left side. Now I know my knot is in there and I'm not even going to move my other thread anymore. There's no need for that, but I am going to cut it off. I would zap it off, but last time I did that I went through some of the threads that were on the side, so I'm just going to cut off my threads now. And there. And now you can continue to work until your bracelet is long enough or until you need to add another thread. So just pause me now until you get to your last set. Now when you're all set and you got your 24 sets done or more, whatever amount of cups you have, you need to make sure that you recount the sets that you did. So you just want to make sure, because there's no redoing this. You have to take it all out again if you want, if it's not right. So you gotta have 24 sets of seed beads with 24 cups of cup chain. So I'm gonna double count everything right now. My cup chains, including my my chain. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go count 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I'm counting the 15/0 seed beads because they're easier to count than the sets. And I'm just going to poke in a needle, and I'm going to do another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm poking the next needle. And then we got another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now I need 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I got 24 here, and I'm going to double count this just in case. So these should be 24 also. I'm going to start counting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That would be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that leaves 4. So that's 24. I'm 24, and I'm very happy Now I can close up my ends. Okay, so you gotta make sure that that's straight. Got the end right here. You gotta make sure it's straight, and then you pick up the end, and you're gonna go into that first seed bead. And you're gonna go back into that 15-0 seed bead. Okay, now you're gonna pick up 2 11-0 seed beads. You're going to pick up that middle 15-0 seed bead, just the middle one. Going to go back to seed bead number 2 and number 3. And then you're going to pick up that 15-0 seed bead. And you're going to go and pick up that 11-0 seed bead. And you will find out that both threads come out of the same, but that's okay. Just double knot it. One, two, and just go up and go down. Pull that tight and up again. And now you can cut off your threads. And we're going to start with a new thread. And that's about 2 meters. And we're going to use 2 needles. I'm also going to run that through there, the wax twice, because I want it to stay as undamaged as possible. And you can go in anywhere, okay? Just make sure that it's right and it's not twisted. So I'm going to go in through these 15-0 seed beads right here. And I'm going to pull my thread the same length on both sides. Okay, now on the other side I'm also going to add a needle and try not to pull that thread anymore. I'm going to just put that white like that. That's the top. Now get your chain and go into, make sure that the chain cup is up, go into that with your needle. And I hope these galvanized Duracoat pewters are good also, because I don't have enough gold ones, and it will look good. Pick up 3 15-0 seed beads, and if you got the gold, use the gold, and then go through there with the other needle. Try not to move the thread that's in here. And just kind of close that up in between the cups. Now add 5 seed beads on your left needle and 5 seed beads on your right needle. 2, 3, 4, 5. Double check them. Pull them both down so they won't fall off anymore. And then pick up 3 and go through those with your other needle. And pull that tight. You get a little round circle. And just move your cup chain over to the other side. This is the one you're coming out of, so you're going to go into the next 3 15-0s. And because you can see where the other thread is coming out of, you're going to go into those 3. So first you're going to do one side, and then you're going to do the next side. Now you can pull that tight. And then you're going to pick up your other needle and you're going to go around again. And if you're using the Wildfire from Beadsmith, you won't be able to go through here again. Might be able to go through there once, but not twice. Pick that up. And make sure that your thread doesn't get caught behind the seed beads. Pick up the 3 seed beads. This is where the other thread is coming out of, so I'm going to pick up those 3 seed beads. Okay, well, that looks good. So I'm going to try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left and right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Double check so that they don't fall off, because that happens really easily. Happened before to me several times. So make sure that you double count them. And then you got the next 3. You'll pull that down a little bit. And there's something wrong with that seed bead right there, so I'm going to take that off. That one goes to the side. 2, 3. Look more like a delica. So, okay, 3 seed beads. I'm going to go in there. And I'm putting my left needle down. If you're left-handed, just put your right needle down. I'm going to go around the next cup. Moving over my cup chain. And this is the next 3 seed beads that I need to go through. And then I'm picking it up here, because that's where my thread comes out of. Pulling that tight. And then I'm going to go into, with the other needle, into the 3 seed beads again. And make sure that you don't grab onto one of these seed beads on the side by accident, or that your thread doesn't get snagged underneath the corners. This is where I come out of, and this is the 3 seed beads that I need to pick up. So this is pretty delicate work, because getting snagged behind those, getting stuck with your thread behind these angles on your cup chain is very easy, as well as it is very easy to pick up by accident one of the seed beads on the side and going through 3 coming out of the wrong way. So that's why I say always do one first and then the other. And now we start again with 5, 5 on both needles. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just really seriously double count them, because one can fall off so easily. And oh, you're going to be so sorry, because you're never going to see that. You're never even going to look at that again until you put it on there and you see, oh darn. 3, crossing through there. Moving my cup chain. You won't be able to do that at the end, of course, but as long as you can do that, do that. Going through the 3 seed beads. Moving that over to where it needs to be. Picking up the 3 seed beads from where the thread comes out. And just pulling that tight around there. Putting my needle down, and then I'm picking up the other needle. So this is it's going to take a while, but hey, you want a good bracelet, right? you're gonna have a beautiful piece of work. You gotta be careful that it doesn't get stuck anywhere. There. And into those three. And basically you're gonna do that all the way to the end. Well, I'll get back to you when you got them all on there, so I suggest you pause me now. I'm going to be adding my last one with 5 on the side. Got a hard time picking them up with my left hand. And we're now going to go into the first 3. And the other ones are going to go into the first 3 also. And pull that tight. And I'm going to meet up with my other thread right here. So I'm going to go through these 5. Because I don't want a knot on the side. I want a knot on the in here. Going through these 3. Picking up these 5. I'm going to double knot. Carefully with the needles on there still. I'm going to push my knot in these 3. And I'm going to make sure that that's in the middle. And I'm going to work my thread to the side again. I'm going to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now it would be cool if I could still go in here. Yep. And I'm going to cut it off right there. I'm going to try the other one. Through the 5 on this side. And these 3. And cut it off. There. Yay! Now let's see. Yep. Roll on. Turn. And roll off. And everything is wonderful. Compared to this piece that is going each and every direction. So, I got 2. This one is made with gold. This one's got a more vintage look. And it's made with pewter galvanized Duracoat on the top. And it's the gold galvanized Duracoat on the bottom. So make sure you got the Duracoats. Very important. Because they're nice and strong. I didn't break one of them. And I'm very happy with both of them. And can you roll them up at the same time? It's kind of hard. You might want to roll them on one at a time. If you make more. And this won't twist either when you got that rolled on. There we go. Would be nice in all kinds of colors though. So, that was that for today, and now I have to go edit it and make a PDF file also for those that like to have the PDF files to go with that. And next time I'm really going to make the coaster holder because my pets have been drying for the last 2 days, so they should be dry by now. We got a little bit of sunshine, and I'll be back with that one next time. Bye!